Today I'm going to do a barrel pick at Law's Distillery with Argonaut Wine and Liquor. I have no idea what they have pulled aside for us as far as barrels go, but I figured I'd bring you guys along for the ride. You ready? Let's go.
Metalhead Whiskey Snobs!
All right, we made it here to Law's Whiskey Sanctuary, the whiskey house, for the barrel pick for Argonaut Wine and Liquor. Let's take a look at all this.
But as he said, I'm Al Laws. I'm the founder of Laws Whiskey. We're a small family company here. Been doing it for about 15 years. And over here we have Sam. Sam's also got a mic. He's going to talk to you here in a few minutes. He's our head distiller. He's been here for 11 years. Quick off, like Laws here, we've been around for about 15 years. Our focus has always been just on whiskey. Taking no shortcuts as the approach, and making it pure Colorado whiskey, making it from, Colorado grains, trying to keep it as pure as possible. We do consider ourselves one of the top independent whiskeys in Colorado and as well across the whole country. We don't really feel we have to take a knee to anyone in our quality and what we've put together over the years. We are your hometown team though, and we do immensely appreciate all your support over the years, immensely. You have no idea. Our differentiated approach to American whiskey has been locally grown heirloom grains from two family farms, Whiskey Sister Supply in Burlington for corn, and Cody Family Farms, or the Colorado Malting Company in Alamosa. We also use differentiated mash bills typically, so our single grain whiskeys are typically 100% of that grain, and we mess around with like malted versus raw. And we also use a traditional sour mash technique. So we're paying homage to the base and what started American whiskey. It's important, a very important part of this. We also use full-size barrels. We're in high elevation aging, which is a great thing for all of us, our peers and us. It makes a difference. And then also we put a lot of love into it. Yeah, that's right. This all creates what I think is a solidly approachable and richly flavored whiskey. And all these whiskeys are going to be very rich tonight. We embody and embrace our home state, right? We taste like Colorado is what we say often, and that's a good thing. I hope that comes through in the whiskeys that you're about to taste. And keep supporting us homegrown folks and our peers. And buy when you go to buy this stuff, buy your spirits, wines, and beers from independent liquor stores like Argonaut. Don't buy it from the grocery store. So without any further ado, Sam, introduce yourself and tell these fine folks what's in front of them this afternoon.
Hello, I'm Sam Poirier. I'm the head distiller here. Just want to thank you for coming out. Without people like you who care about whiskey, in this climate, we wouldn't be able to do what we do at all. So I'm going to run through these samples that you guys have in no particular order. When we go about picking single barrels for Argonaut or other great accounts, we're picking some of the best barrels we have back there. Some of the oldest barrels, not always the oldest. Some experiments, things like yeast strains, barrel types, different process, or just barrels that we mark as standouts from the tastings that we do. What you have in front of you is cask strength, so if anyone has not had any whiskey today, I would say start small. Some of them are pretty big, small sips, get acclimated. All right, so what we have, let's start with This sample is something that we've never done before. It's 2 of our oldest barrels that we have in stock. Big, rich flavor. One of them is over 13 years old, and one of them is over 12 years old. And we blended those 2 barrels together to create one of the samples. That's a big one. That one's going to be 143 proof. When I'm going through the barrel records to look at the production process, the fermentation, the distillation notes, I'm just taking note of anything that stands out. When you get into some of these older barrels, that's before I was here, the notes are not so great. It was just Al back then, pretty much.
Ah, here we go. Here we go.
Yeah. And you know, when I came on board here, one of the things Al always stressed is that we're making whiskey with soul. Everything we do, we put our soul into it. I would say that back then he was leaning pretty heavy into soul. So that's one sample. Another sample we have here today is a mash bill that we've never put out. It's a wheated bourbon, so it's not the 4 grain. It has no rye in it. That one's over 7 years old, and it's 126 proof. And then we have another sample here that we had held back for future projects, or I had marked for future projects here at Laws. It's 4 grain. It is just about 7 years as well, and that one's 128 proof. And then another 4 grain barrel, over 7 years old, and that is 132.6 proof. So a couple special standout barrels of 4 grain bourbon, one blend of 2 barrels, extra old, and then one wheated bourbon.
All right, so we have our pours here. This is what we're selecting from for the Argonaut barrel pick. You heard Al explain it earlier. You got a blend of a 12 and a 13 year hazmat, a wheated at 126, a 4 grain 7 year at 128 heavy char, and a 4 grain 7 year 132 proof medium toast low char. We got a lovely little cocktail here. Let's stick a one around and see how other people are doing.
No, I guess I only I went my 28 and
29.
Yeah, that's always what it's so Argonaut barrel we did that.
Yeah.
All right, let's go for the first one. Oh, man. Yeah, this is not going to be easy because these are special barrels, and they are all smelling really good. Okay, so just based off the nose, I think that one of these is probably the 12-13 year blend at 143 proof. Both these two are really, really complex and very intense on the nose, very robust. But I'm going to give it a moment and have it go back in for another smell, and then I'm going to taste them, and I'll come back with my review or what I think is what, which one I like best at the end. guys, I think I have my winners picked. I couldn't pick one, I have two. Tell us about this 4 grain, man.
Yeah, so this is our newest batch of our flagship product. I'm currently tasting through about 300 barrels to select just 65 to create the batch. And then we always roll over some of the last batch into the new batch to help with consistency. But the barrels I'm tasting through are pretty sweet. They hit all the classic notes: black tea, citrus, almost like a honeysuckle. But I'm really digging the sweetness that's coming off this batch. In different seasons, the whiskey's going to taste differently. This is coming off the summer, and now it's cold weather months. All those flavors are extracted into the barrel, and it's just a really well-balanced.
Do you have a release date for it?
The newest batch will be coming out in the next couple months for sure.
Will the distillery release for it?
This will go out across the state, wherever we distribute. So.
All right, so I think everyone got their votes in. What we did is everyone got a chip, and they had boxes up there, A, B, C, and D, and you put your chip in which box was your pick. Well, it turns out at the end, after the count, there was a tie between C and D, and I think that was the heavy char and the 12-13 year blend hazmat. So I think what they're going to do is they're going to have us taste the heavy char and the hazmat again, cast our votes again, and do a fresh count, see which barrel ends up getting picked for Argonaut.
I said Al.
All right, so we just got done picking the barrel. It turns out that sample number 3 was the winner, and it was the Heavy Char 128 proof 7 year. It is delicious, man. My notes were burnt brown sugar, tobacco, baking spice, and sweet grains, sweet corn. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely phenomenal. Just beat out the hazmat, but check it out. They said because it was so close that they are going to hold that barrel and they're going to put it in new oak and make it a double oak, and we can come back in a year or two from now and it'll be more like a 14-year double oaked hazmat. So pretty stoked for that. But yeah, man, looking forward to getting this bottle back to the studio, cracking it, reviewing it. And if you're in Denver, look out for this one, man, because this was so freaking close that we had to do a revote on it, man. But anyway, thanks for tuning in. I hope you're enjoying the content. Make sure to like, subscribe, and all that good stuff, man. We'll see you next time. Metalhead Whiskey Snobs. Cheers.